Huh?
Deep.
Remote? Oh, okay.
It's a neck massager. Why does your neck massager have a weed eater motor on it?
You have a two-stroke?
You ever Mustang? Smells funny.
Yeah. The battery bill gets a little out of hand, and I don't know why.
What does your Wi-Fi router run on batteries? Is that what's going on tonight?
Yeah, that must be what it is. It is yeah, technology was not working very well today, but we got a couple people watching. What's up, Daylight Burners? Happy Thursday night. Back again for the bull session. We got Jesse, Nick, Sam, and Mr. Jake Smith out of Arkansas. We're accommodating to everybody. We got hillbillies of all different shades of white today, so we're all inclusive. What the hell's going on, fellas? I've been trying to get connected, so I've missed out on a good 30 minutes to an hour of conversation, it seems like.
Yeah, we're done.
Fuck off, Tim. You are more... Sorry, comments.
You just got censored.
You got censored.
You froze pretty hard, Matt, right when you were about to get to the juicy stuff.
This is more boring than the DNC. Yeah, fuck you, bro.
Fuck off, Tim.
Damn it.
Well, the RNC is going on too right now.
Yeah, what about that?
I watched
Tim, how did you
Trump's
even
daughter on
figure
YouTube.
out how to get on this thing? Oh. Tim is one of my college buddies who's about 9,000 years old. I think he voted for Bernie Sanders in his or not Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden in his first like Senate run back in 1932 or whenever it is. And then Tim has also been to college for about 9,000 years. He finally graduated how Mary Smoke show, and then he walks in on guys jacking off at work. So fuck off, Tim.
The one?
You were, yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's awesome is
guy, right?
he really can't reply. He can't really defend himself.
That's a skill.
Yeah. So what's Jake? What's going on down in Arkansas? How's the hurricane?
It's fucking go. It's dumb as fuck again. But on the plus side, Arkansas saw a hurricane. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. And it's humid as fuck. And it's supposed to be, I think it was like 72 all ago, and it's supposed to be back up to 102 tomorrow. So it's great.
What are the name of these two hurricanes?
Laura.
Aaron.
It's Lauren. One of them starts with an M, doesn't it?
Yeah, they do them alphabetically.
Either K or an M, huh?
Marcos, maybe?
I've got two coworkers in Texas that were like, hey guys, we're not going to be on today because we're boarding up our houses. So.
Oh. Well, the reason these hurricanes hit Arkansas is because they're married and they're also brother and sister. Therefore, they had to pay a visit to the grand old state of Arkansas.
Oh.
Ba-boom! Ching.
Go ahead and get it out of the way.
Breaking them in right.
We're off to a
We cannot have an Arkansan or really any Southerner without doing some sort of incest joke. It's almost as steady of a diet as dick jokes. But, that's how. So what did the hurricane entail? Is it just a bunch of rain and wind, basically?
Yeah, pretty much like what we were looking at. We were kind of planning for it, which is the most fucked up thing. If you plan for it, nothing happens. When you're just enjoying the time, everything goes to shit. But it showed to go through like like Lake Charles, and it pretty much fucked all of South Louisiana up, and then up around Shreveport, and then kicked over all of a sudden to the east, and pretty much, I think it was down to like 30-mile-an-hour winds before it hit Arkansas. So it really wasn't just major catastrophe.
Sounds like a normal day in North Dakota.
I was saying 30-mile-an-hour winds. That's a light breeze on the Great Plains. So,
I'll be right back, guys. I
but
gotta go inside.
We'll wait here, Nick.
Yeah, don't
all
go
right,
anywhere.
well, we'll be here.
Then Jesse, by the way, 321.5 feet above sea level.
All right.
All right.
300 and some feet. That's man.
Dozens of feet
Yeah.
above sea level. Dozens.
Yeah. That's the biggest 300 feet you ever did see.
I did, you know,
It
and that
is.
elevation shit is real. I lived at 6,000 feet for long ass time, and where I'm at now is like 26, and I lived here for 3 years. And I go back last month to go do a hike into my favorite lake, and it starts at 57, ends at like 75, and I got altitude sickness for the first time in my life.
I'll be down.
I was hiking in, and I had the foresight to go to Sportsman's Warehouse and get one of those little oxygen deals, and it saved my life. Like just breathing through that thing for a minute, and then
No
going,
shit.
like I was getting dizzy and like sick
Wow.
and shit, and like a dumbass, I just kept hiking, but made it count.
Wow.
So I've never experienced altitude sickness. I've always kind of made fun of people with it, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Tough it up.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
That's funny. I've never had altitude sickness, but I was also a Highlander.
Yeah, but like, what's
4,000
in
feet,
what's it at where you're at
getting
Nevada?
out on the plains. Right now we're just shy of 5,000.
Yeah, so you're pretty high up there, high mountain desert.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, it's great. You don't get that much humidity. It's great.
Well, what's fucked up is we have a ladder truck downtown
Yeah.
that's 107 fucking feet, and then altitude is 320. So we're halfway there going up the ladder. So it's cool though.
That's pretty wild.
That's funny. The lowest point in Colorado, which was about 45 minutes from where I grew up, is still 3,400 feet, I think, something like that. 34, 36, something like that. What are you guys at there in Fromberg?
We're at like right at 3,000. But
Okay.
we're up in Steamboat, man. That was at 7,000, I think.
Oh yeah,
So I
yeah,
suppose-
because Steamboat and Hayden, they're way up there. What's Craig's at? What, like 6,000, something like that?
a little bit lower, yeah. Yep. But I've never got.
Yeah, the opposite end of the states.
I mean, I lived in. I went to college in Indiana and fucking lived in Michigan for longer than I should have. So I never did experience that shit. Coming back. That sucks, Sambo.
Yeah, poor me.
Back home, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm still working on the wife. I still want to move back. It's just not home here, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
And you know, if there was one state that's never gonna go blue, it's Idaho.
Right.
But
Idaho and Utah. I think those are the last true
Wyoming.
stalwarts that will
I can't
never.
imagine Wyoming. ever
Wyoming,
getting
yeah.
blue, man.
Yeah, so Wyoming, I agree that never stand a chance of going liberal. But you never know. I never thought Jerry Falwell was gonna leave Liberty University. You know, he's gonna go hide in a corner here for a while.
Closet.
Just to watch, though. It's just to watch.
Yeah.
Just to watch.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That was a good one.
For all daylight burner,
Alleged, yeah.
daylight burner
not-
tourists, visitors, every Jerry Falwell joke comes with the disclaimer of allegedly from here on out. There, proceed.
Alleged. Well, he's not on trial. He's not on trial, and he's actually not even accused of doing anything illegal. Just
Just in the court of public opinion.
Yeah. Such a classic.
you could say that Jerry Falwell is indeed a giant wet ass p word.
Yeah.
He's a dry ass p word, but
There it is.
Yeah.
Dry.
Dry as fuck.
Dry.
Boy's not.
Yeah. Well, he's not as dry as Ben Shapiro's wife, which poor lady. She just to make him feel better, she told him it's bad medically if it's wet. Yeah, honey, it's supposed to be like sandpaper down there. That's how God made it. It's totally not you. But what a well, I guess if you don't know who he is, he's like the big evangelical leader, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Like,
Mr. fucking
he's,
man.
He's like Mr. Conservative evangelical leader. Like he's was the president of Liberty University, which is like the main like conservative university out there, and he has not accused, I guess, been leaked that a basically amounted to a 20-year-old pool boy got to fuck Jerry Falwell's wife, Becky Falwell, not a bad-looking lady, while Pastor Jerry sat in the corner and watched. I wonder if he critiqued it all.
You know, I was doing some research on it too, and apparently there have been some other activities where more men were involved, and Jerry Falwell would actually participate. They'd sit in a circle, and he'd tap each of them on the head. It was called cut goose.
Allegedly.
Oh,
Bam. That's that might be the best one of the night. I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be more, but fuck that was a good one, Sambo. Well, I guess what kind of started this whole deal is Jake posted a meme in the bull session the other day, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember it was hilarious, but it was something about Jehovah's Witnesses, and
yeah.
basically you're showing the door naked, aren't you, or something like that.
Well, allegedly.
I've always said allegedly. Like, I'm not gonna show up to the front door with a shotgun when my little girl has her first date. Like, I'm gonna show up with a wife beater and my boxers, and that's it. Just like scratching my belly button and be like, "Hey, I got one of them skin flicks on. You want to come in and take a look?" And just freak him the fuck out from the get-go, and that'll be the end of that guy. So there'll be no violence involved, and it'll be a hilarious joke. I'll make sure. Maybe I'll live stream it.
Yeah.
Oh, please do.
We got a ways for that. She's only 5, so that we got a ways to wait. But
Last time the Jehovah's came here, I think I sent this to the Snap group, but I was they have one of those Ring doorbell deals, and I just like sent them, and she was like staring at it, And so I screenshotted the picture, and she totally knew I was doing it.
That's awesome. I've never really had to deal with Jehovah's Witnesses. I just never answered the door because, well, I guess outside of college, and well, I guess I lived in town in Kansas there when I lived in Kansas, but I've only lived in town for about half of my life. Most, outside of college, and then when I lived in Kansas, I lived way out in the country. So we weren't getting dick for any Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or anything like that. They just didn't fuck with us out there. But in college, I just wouldn't answer the door because I didn't want to deal with it. But Robbie had some Mormon missionaries that would come by and actually even helped him dig some holes. And Robbie is very like rabidly atheist. So like there was no conversion gonna happen, but he'd make them talk, make them plead their case, and then like rip them apart. And they invited him to go to church. And he was like, all right, so if I go, it'd be better if he was here telling. I don't know where the fuck he's at, but
off the radar for a few days.
He's like, if I go, it's not going to, it's not going. Yeah, he said it's not going to be to hear the good word. It's going to be the same reason I go to the zoo, and that's to watch the monkeys dance. So, dance monkey, and they never came back after that. And I know we've got some LDS listeners out there, so that is not a knock on the Mormons. That is more just a testament of how big of an asshole Robbie really is. So,
and they know that by now.
But he's
you don't know that by now. You ain't watching. You ain't listening.
Yeah.
And see, I think the whole thing behind it, the conversation was, it was funny as fuck, first off. And then we sat there and I got to thinking about it. I thought, man, maybe it's just our area that has these sumbitches that go from door to door. And it wouldn't have been so bad because I usually don't answer the door. It's like, somebody's knocking. They'll either, come back later or text or call or whatever. Except for it wasn't like a normal, like, hey, I'm here to tell you about Jesus and everything else. It was like, boom, 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 fucking search warrant. I thought, oh, wow. And I'm working graveyard. And so at this point, have no idea. The pit is going crazy. And he is like just adamant, like hair on the back of his neck standing up. I'm like, all right, what the fuck's going on? Grab the 40. I did have underwear on and Crocs because, if you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking. And so we go on about our business. And I fling the door open and I greet the trainee. I guess there was two of them. And this poor bastard is about this far from the 40. And I asked him what the fuck he was doing. The training supervisor is already in the car next block over. So, yeah, it just went to shit. They don't come down our road anymore, ever.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I'm kind of bummed, but we don't really get those kind of visitors in Bromberg, Montana.
Probably because they're all the fuck down here.
A small town Montana, like you get into a small town and everybody goes to the same church. They're one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, I think the worst part is we're sitting there and they're 30 miles away is the nearest whatever their church is. It's like 30-something miles away. I thought they drove 45 minutes to come get a face full of steel. I don't know. I don't know.
I think they just wanted to see you in your Crocs and your underwear, bro.
Hey, I mean, it's shit. And I didn't even have the mustache then. Oh my God, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I've heard that, Jake. I've actually heard that they go on missions in places where they really like to see where unfortunate people live. So that's probably.
I guarantee it, they do. Shit.
Oh. No, they are.
If they'd been more inviting, I would have offered them a Busch Light, but they weren't that inviting.
I had a Busch Light today.
Yeah, fantastic.
my dad has been just like, he has this knack for just finding like weird people that like there was this guy that was riding his bike across the country, and he kind of looked like an extremely old Forrest Gump, like just yeah, you know, like when that scene when Forrest Gump's running across America, like add about 30 years onto that, and you'll have this guy with his bicycle. And my dad got to talking to him at the gas station, and invited him over to camp out in the front yard and eat supper with us. He was an interesting old fuck, but like most people ain't ever, they're not even gonna, you know, like try to not make eye contact with that type of guy. And my dad's like, ah, I'll just go start up a conversation with this guy, and well, invite him to the house. And but we're, you know, heavily armed, so there was no real concern about anything. But I don't know. It's my dad's. I can't remember how many times he's done shit like that, but the weirdest people you ever meet. Interesting, just weird. I don't think any of them were Jehovah's Witnesses, though.
Yeah, and I don't even like. Are there?
Nick, you got.
This might be like a really ignorant question, but are there any like hot Jehovah's Witnesses? Because mine are always like 58-year-old ladies, and, you know, like they just look like school kids. Not the hot
Well,
kind.
They're trying to.
Yeah,
recruit-
I think the Mormons got the. I think the Mormons have a monopoly on the hot lady missionaries.
Yeah, they must. It's just not a. It's not a good selling point, you know. It's like, hey, yeah,
You know who does not have a monopoly on missionary? Jerry Falwell. that missionary position is all over the place.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I think after he accepted a $10.5 million buyout to step down from Liberty University, we can just go ahead and say that shit happened. I don't think there's any allegedly anymore.
No.
If you have a $10.5 million buyout clause in your and they go with it, like you've got some shit in your past. Like that's like they agree to that term. Yeah. That like they know. Like I guarantee you Liberty University knew about that. And that's why the buyout. They were using him for his, you know, TV fame, and but they knew that a bit of shit was gonna come out, and that's why that buyout clause was there.
So curiosity, was it his pool guy or just a pool guy?
No, it was his pool guy.
Oh,
It was his pool guy because
I mean, like,
you
how
cannot
freaking
be
generic.
a grifter like that and not have your own pool.
Right.
touche.
I mean, Joel Osteen has his own fucking arena, and like, but that guy's grifting out of control. So he's doing it right.
So I got to doing a little bit more digging in that. Apparently, in like 15 or something, there was a shooting, wherever, obviously in California, and he said something about pretty much wanting every student on campus to get their concealed and all this good stuff. And the quote was to end the Muslims before they get there.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he's just really confused. Well, was really confused. Now he's really fucking rich and jobless and probably lost a pool guy, but that's beside the point.
No, pool guy stuck
Well,
around.
I think he lost that. I think that pool guy was out of the picture a while ago. I think he outgrew Miss Becky Falwell's age range, and they moved on to a different pool guy.
Yeah, he got kicked out of the pool guy union, I think, though, for sure. Gave them all a bad name.
Probably. I mean, first rule of pool guy union is you don't speak about pool guy union.
They hired a guy to come kick his ass. You might know him. His name's Cuck Norris.
Sam for the win.
I'm big on that.
That's a good one. I was not on my game with the puns today. I had I left the feed yard about midnight last night. I was waiting on a bunch of damn Mexicans that never showed up until 6 hours later. But
Talking about the cows or the workers?
So
They got Brick Man at night.
Yeah, my boss texted me. It was like they're about 30 minutes out, and that was like 6:30 last night. First truck didn't get there till 8. I think it was 8:15 when I started unloading them. But I got about 6 chapters read in my latest Mormon book that I'm reading, so that's a plus.
Well, good.
This whole Mormon be like a year-long project. I've got so many books I've yet to read. There's a lot of shit there. It's gonna be
You do a documentary on it or something, or?
I'm gonna do like a Dan Carlin style series on it, like
cool,
like 3 or 4 parts, several hours long. Yeah, there's a lot of shit there. That was an interesting bunch of people, man.
That is something that just doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to the West and how it's shaped.
Yeah,
seriously, like they went from nobody besides the Paiutes in the Salt Lake Valley to 20,000 people in Salt Lake City within like 5 years.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like
Bozeman didn't even grow that.
It was insane. Yeah. Yeah, it was insane. It was, and a lot of it wasn't so much that they were good at what they did. They were just like, "Fuck you, we are doing it some way or another." Plus, they had a whole lot of tithing funds that they could use to build up their, empire there, which they
feeding like rabbits too, man. I mean, to be fair, they had like 7 wives each, right? So.
Brigham Young had 40 something.
So there you go.
But there was only some of them that he had sex with, because there was sealed for time and eternity, and those are the ones that you could have sex with, or you could have like sealed for time only, and so that'd be like a widow that or like was a new convert, but their husband was not, so they'd be sealed to Brigham Young, but like
a dish
on paper thing only. It's a weird fucking deal. Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it was a weird deal. But 47 of them, and it tells you how bad of an idea when like the main proponent for polygamy has to like in one of his sermons like all you women need to quit bitching. You guys are whining too much. And that's a documented truth where he's like, you guys are all whining, and if you don't like being in polygamy, you can leave right now. And there was like thousands of them just like, all right, I'm out.
Deuces.
They had the highest marriage rate of anywhere in the world, but in the world, I think. So, yeah, you imagine like when your wife is like, "Who are you talking to? Where you at?" and instead of saying like I'm recording a bull session with the boys, she'd be like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm with my other wife. It's her night, damn it."
Ah, yes. Mormon, the father of mansplaining.
The fact that there's a fucking show about it, like the Sister Wives, whatever. The fact that there's a fucking show about it is just wow.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. it's an interesting deal, and I don't know. They made some good points.
The fact that there's a fucking show about it, like the
Fairly valid points in their arguments, but I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Technical spectacle.
Here's how.
What's that?
Oh yeah, I got mine right here, fellas. Ah, there it is. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. Hey, Jake, you want a Busch Light?
Oh, please, please.
So Sam sends us a picture in our Snap group today of him drinking a Busch Light, right? He's trying to be.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if everybody caught it, but he's. There's a book on this person's lap that says how to cope with a massive penis.
I wrote that book.
Did you write it? I figured you did.
Oh yeah.
At least go off.
I mean, it was plagiarized, but hey, my name's on it.
How to cope with a massive penis. The history of Burning Daylight.
Exactly. I gotta have Morgan Freeman narrate that for the audio version. Oh, yeah. So, has anybody else had any weird like cult encounters? I mean, like aside from Burning Daylight, that we're not a cult yet. I've not reached that status, but
Trying to get some temp status.
I'm trying to get better every day.
Yeah, when you figure out that Zim deal and make this a religion, let me know.
And you know what? Being a decentralized cult, we'd really give the ATF a run for their money. They'd have to hire like 16 vans across the country to monitor.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will bankrupt the country from the inside. So,
Hey,
it's a solid plan.
that's the way. This is the way.
It's the American dream. It's the American dream. Yeah. So far we've got our main tenets of the Church of Burning Daylight is capitalism and Lonesome Dove.
Yeah.
So those are the two main pillars. I think we can. What's that?
And the Constitution of the United States.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Minus the whole income tax amendment. Like if we throw that one out,
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
The 1776 Constitution.
Yeah,
So,
not
like-
Woodrow Wilson's Constitution.
Yeah, none of that like women voting and shit. We don't need that.
Oh no, absolutely not.
One vote
absolutely.
per household.
And we're gonna have Mike Judge, Matt Stone, and Trey Parker as the prophets because they've pretty well predicted 2020 up to this point. I guess we could put Matt Groening in there too. He's a time traveler.
He should, yeah. He really knows his shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna put him on the same level from a comedic talent as he's pretty damn good. I'm not saying that he's not a comedic talent, but
He's
Matt
a
Stone,
time
Trey
traveler
Parker.
that made a show about time travel.
yeah, he deserves to be in the picture for sure. I don't think I'd put him on the same level as the South Park guys or Mike Judge. Idiocracy. I mean, could that have been a more accurate movie?
The Prophecy, you mean?
Yeah, the prophecy, the revelation.
The Book of Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Welcome to college.
And
I love you.
well, the 2020 will be known as the COVID BLM trials. Holy fuck. That kid in Wisconsin is going to be fucked for a long time. Like,
So did y'all see who the lawyer is for the guy?
No, who is it?
mm-mm.
Okay, so do you remember the dude? Fuck, he was a kid. Remember the kid that had the MAGA hat on, that got the Indian, like not the dog Indian,
Yeah.
like the howl Indian. His lawyer,
Yeah, this.
what was
Oh,
his name? Sandman or some shit.
yeah, Nicholas Sandman was the kid.
Yeah. Okay, his lawyer is going to be the young dude that did the blasting. His lawyer, and I just found out earlier that he got Sandman got 250 mil from CNN and has two more pending trials that the lawyer said they're fucked. So this kid may come
Yeah.
out looking pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
one thing, but
Somebody else-
that was a civil lawsuit, and this is going to be a criminal.
It's just
like they're
yeah.
And the big thing is he's a minor, so
Yep.
he was not in lawful possession of that weapon, and that's going to be a problem for him and his parents. It should be a problem for his parents, anyways. That kid should not have been there. Like, you're a minor.
yeah.
I don't care how patriotic you are. You don't need to be there. Like that's. That being said, I mean, fucking good for him. He was quick on his feet. That could have been real bad, like even worse for him. But
Yeah.
Good.
that's not a good situation, man. And when you're looking at how that George Floyd case is starting to turn out, shit's gonna get ugly in Minneapolis because that officer probably gonna walk because they're charging him with second-degree murder. And now the body camera footage is coming out where, dude, they overcharged him. Like, there's no doubt that guy should be behind bars, but you got to, like, you can't overcharge or he's going to skate, and fuck, that's going to get ugly, dude.
Yeah,
That's going to get ugly.
So I don't know what the law states there. I know, like, just for instance, in Arkansas, if you're under the lawful legal age to own a weapon, you can still be in possession of a long arm, like a deer rifle, what we would consider a deer rifle. But I'm pretty sure, I know Arkansas law is stating that an AR is still considered a long rifle. So I don't know how that's going to pan out up there or not.
Well, isn't he from Illinois?
He was from Illinois.
Yeah, somewhere.
The most
and he's
gun laws in the country, man. He's probably
But it happened in Wisconsin, so that's going to save him. But most of those laws state like you can be in possession of a long gun for hunting. And if he says he was hunting, then he is properly fucked. Yeah, if he said he was hunting that night, he is properly fucked. But yeah, that's not going to be a good situation either, because I don't know. I really don't care what happens to that guy, because, dude, you shouldn't have been there. Like, you're too young for that. And
he literally carried a can of gasoline into a fucking fire, man. Literally.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
and I'm all for people like standing up for private property owners, and especially in cities where like they have those restrictive gun laws. I think there should be people out there, but if you're 17, man, stay the fuck out of it. Like that, because that's not that. If you get in trouble, whatever. I mean, that you take that risk, but when you're 17, then you're bringing your parents into the whole deal, and even if they don't get charged, those people are gonna sue the fuck out of them. And
he's done for a while.
It's like his parents are probably ruined financially.
Have they said who owned the firearm yet, or?
I don't know.
His parents had bought it, but they had gifted it to him. It was his, but in the eyes of the law, it's probably not his.
Right, he's probably
you can't be you can be in possession, but you cannot be in ownership of it until you're 18.
Right.
Pretty well everywhere. I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know, man. That's if you're gonna fight for the gun rights of law-abiding gun owners, you better fucking be a law-abiding gun owner.
Yep.
And in this case, he was not. Did he act in self-defense? I think almost certainly. I mean, from what I could tell, that
No
the
doubt.
shooting part was justified. The carrying of the rifle to that thing, not only was it ill-advised, it was probably illegal. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as a law-abiding gun owner, I don't think there should be any gun laws. But as the situation sits, man, like whatever crime they throw at you for the gun-related offense, he probably deserves it. I don't think he deserves a murder charge or even intentional
No.
homicide or whatever they charged him with. I think that's a clear self-defense. But if they get you on a unlawful possession of a firearm or whatever, fuck, man, that's what it is. You got to know the law.
Yep.
Especially
all
if
in
you're
all-
gonna go open carry to a fucking riot.
Exactly. But all in all, he fucked that dude's arm up, son. Fucked it up.
Dude. Well, yeah, the dude's biceps gone, and
Gone.
yeah, another dude, the skateboard dude, got a round right through the fucking heart,
Yep.
and the other dude got shot in the head. I mean, his accuracy cannot be called into question. His
No,
his
He hit he hit
his
some dude in the heart.
training was on top notch. Yeah.
I mean-
His accuracy was on point. His knowledge of gun laws was sadly lacking.
Well, I think I'm more impressed with the fact that he shot him and hit him that accurate with the fucking cheapest AR you could possibly
Right.
find.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. I'd say it's pretty obvious that guy's been, or that kid has been practicing a little bit, and he'd probably be a good Marine. Sounds like he might be a little bit of a psychopath, so he'd fit right in with the Marines.
Well, that's kind of my thought is it's sort of a bummer, man, because I kind of think it might be a little bit of a trendsetter, when you're looking at folks' reaction to, I mean, look, the BLM thing, like when it first started, like we've talked about, man, everybody can agree the George Floyd deal was a fucked up scenario, man. It was bullshit. 8 or 9 minutes, choking him the fuck out, regardless of his alleged counterfeit $20 bill or whatever the fuck. The whole country was behind that shit. Like, that was fucked up. But now you got Antifa, circling the wagons around this hijacking the BLM ideal, and it's just turned all to shit. And and it's an election year too, so
yep.
are the
Yeah,
door.
There it is.
It's wild.
And you gotta
It's a
make me believe that Antifa is not funded by people outside of this country.
Guarantee it.
Cannot make you believe that.
yeah.
I can guarantee
Well,
it.
and
Yeah.
And even worse than that is the Black Lives Matter movement, who the leaders are self-admitted trained Marxists. Some of their platforms are the destruction of the nuclear family and the downfall of capitalism and the constitutional republic and under which we live, all that good shit. They are fundraising through like the same fundraising arm as the Democratic Party, and that's why the Democrats are going to lose big this year. Like it's not that big of a secret anymore. And like when you're coming on 3 solid months of riots in Portland, as I don't know if you guys listened to the last episode with the butcher guy Andrew.
Yeah.
There's very few black people in Portland. The protest started for a guy in Minneapolis, but yet Portland, Oregon, has been rioting for 90 days straight. And you look at the mob there, and they're all like a bunch of skinny soy boy white dudes.
Yeah. Soy boy.
Yeah. Well, literally, that is what they are over there, and
their chai tea lattes.
yeah, and honestly, I think of all this whole thing, Trump has played this scenario perfect because he's like, "Hey, we'll help you get control," and they're like, "No, fuck you," and then they try to storm a federal building, and he's like, "Nope," and we're doing surgical strike here, and it was just, you guys listen to the Drinking Bros?
Oh yeah.
They called them the jump out boys. Just jump out of the van, grab a dude, yank, pull him back in and detain him or whatever. But and then everybody says like it's Trump's secret police. And no, they're protecting a federal building, and everybody that they pulled out was on video doing something wrong, and they had warrants for them. Or they detained him, questioned him, and let him go. I mean, it was pretty. It was way better than sending just a whole bunch of border patrol agents with fucking billy clubs and tear gas and just beating the fuck out of the mob. Like it was way better.
Right.
And then this even in Kenosha, that the Wisconsin governor refused federal help initially until people started shooting, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, send in the feds." I'm not a fan of sending in the feds at all, but I mean, if you're not going to take care of it at the local level, the feds ain't going to let it stand by. I mean, they're not going to stand by and just let it happen. And eventually, he's going to invoke the Insurrection Act, and it's not going to be a good deal. Like, it's not going to be a good deal. And
yeah.
Dude, I don't see how any of those governors and mayors get reelected.
Right.
Brad Little's gonna get elected again because Idaho's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing it's funny though how the left is spinning it, because he's like, listen, I'll send you National Guard folks to help you shore this shit up, protect your businesses, get your city under control. And they're trying to spin it like, no. He's trying to militarily, like control. That's not the case, man. He's like, here's a bunch of troops. You as the governor can control them. Do what you wish, And they're like, no, fuck you. We can govern on our own. It's a fucking mess, man.
They pulled up the fucking drawbridges in Chicago to isolate downtown.
Really?
Yeah.
And but then they're finding out, like, once you leave the downtown areas and you start going into residential neighborhoods, that shit is not flying. Like, dude in Fort Collins, he got wailed on. He also pushed a veteran in a wheelchair, and then he got fucked up. They tried to go into residential neighborhoods, and fucking Ken and Karen McCloskey or whatever their names are, the fucking Gomers with their and they got their guns confiscated for defending their own property. Regardless, their firearms handling was god awful.
Oh, it was terrible.
But they were well within their rights.
They were better than
and their guns got confiscated.
Have you guys heard much about that lately?
I haven't recently, no.
Those weapons.
No, I know they spoke
at the time they were pointing them at the riot. They did not function properly.
Yeah.
They were used as a prop in a court case, and to bring it into the courthouse, they had to disassemble it and put the spring in front of the firing pin so it wouldn't reach. So they did not function. They were not technically firearms, but the DA there in St. Louis had them taken apart and reassembled to firing order, so that when they put it into evidence, it could be labeled as a firearm. So they're trying to fuck them over real good.
Yeah. I don't think I think it's all pageantry.
Yeah.
Well, Missouri's another one of those, like, really split states. So you've got St. Louis, where most of the people live, that's super liberal, and then you've got the fucking Ozarks. I mean, they're not quite as hillbilly as Jake down there, but like pretty damn close.
Hey, I will say this: there might be some sister twisting going on in Arkansas, but ain't nobody fucking with us down here yet.
That's true. There's nobody gonna fuck with you guys. That's for sure.
You know what
No,
they say,
no.
Jake? There's a crock hanging on the door of the trailer house.
Hey, but is there the hurricane come through, dude? There ain't no trailer house. Remember, none.
Oh.
Ty Wetton just brought up that Ryan Bundy was just arrested in Idaho, down in the Capitol today.
Ammon Bundy.
Ammon. It was Ammon, yeah. He was loitering, is what they got him on.
Really?
He was trying. He was sitting in the
Loitering.
press zone. I read the report because the state police put out a report, and it was like he was sitting in the press zone as a citizen journalist or something, and he wouldn't leave, and I don't know. It's all pageantry. People just trying to get attention and suck out time from the airwaves, you know. Like
Yeah.
our governor's literally done everything he said.
I did like that your legislature overruled the governor. I was like, no, we are open now. Like your state of emergency is now repealed. Like that was a good move too. I think your governor's probably pretty good, but your legislature's even better.
He's listening to the people because he wants to get reelected in 2 years. Like this isn't even an election year for him.
Yeah.
But you know, like I go anywhere, and it's up to the business owner whether I have to wear a mask or not. And if I have to wear a mask,
Yeah.
I'll choose to support another business. That's just me. But fucking, I was in a business that I go to every day, and I was in there getting some coffee, and this lady walks up next to me. And stop me if I told you guys this already, but I think I did tell you guys this on Snap actually, but she walks up next to me. I'm waiting for my coffee, and she looks at me and she goes, "Do you just like choose not to wear a mask because you don't care about infecting other people?" And I was pissed off like before she even talked to me, so I just immediately went, "Bleh! That's what your voice sounds like?" I fucking walked away. Fuck that place.
That's that. I've not had a
So
whole
is-
lot of bad interactions, but
Well, it's because you
I
don't
don't
go to the
know,
yuppie spots like I do. God, I hate it. There's some good damn coffee in those spots.
I went to I think one of the only times I wore a mask was to the Apple store, and then I regretted it because they weren't even able to help me anyways. So I was like, God. But as I said, they're private business. I can either go somewhere else or I can suck it up and put a mask on. Most of the time I will go somewhere else, but there's only one Apple store in northern Nevada. So yeah, I had to take one on the chin, I guess. And
There are
whatever,
some businesses in Coeur d'Alene that are requiring masks, and I can tell you they do not get the foot traffic that the ones that don't are. And
Masks.
the numbers are
I'm
going
gonna-
like this.
I gotta go to Nebraska next month. I gotta fly, and now they're starting to put people on a no-fly list if they refuse to wear a mask. So I'm going to call my doctor and see if he will write me an exemption note
Can you like get an exemption for glaucoma?
because he's pretty cool.
Glaucoma.
I don't
Like
know.
marijuana?
I hope so. I do have a cataract though, so that might work.
I saw a meme.
Modern
That's a
times
different
require
piece of paper.
It might have been Nick. that
Yeah, it's all the
posted this,
same.
But it said something like there's a 0.01% chance of rain, so I'm appalled that nobody
Does
else
your-
uses a fucking umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
I tell you guys, if I am ever in a store with a mask on, I'm robbing that fucking place.
You
So
heard
that's
it
the
here,
crazy
folks.
part here is we have two different states. Like where I work is 25 miles from the house, and we have Texarkana, Arkansas, and we have Texarkana, Texas. Well, Governor Abbott has, completely lost his fucking wig on Texas side. And on Arkansas, he's just kind of like riding his dick all the way into whatever. And so the problem is like we go into these places in like Texas, like, oh, you got to have them on. All right, well, then you go to the same fucking store across the way in Arkansas, and they're like, oh, well, we suggest it unless you have a medical condition. There's always a little clause about medical condition. So these sons of bitches don't know medical from anything. Like they couldn't tell you how to spell anything. So you just make up a bunch of bullshit and tell them when you have the mask on that your CO level gets higher and it's bad for your health. And usually the 17-year-old dumb fuck at the door is like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then you just walk on in. So it's kind of how it is pretty much everywhere down here.
It's also a HIPAA violation to ask somebody about their disability.
Mhm.
It is very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you are like performing like medical attention to them, like
Right.
it's very much against the law. But I saw so many editorials and opinion pieces about why that does not fly and blah 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 blah. It's the government's only going to encroach as much as you allow them. So you've allowed them to make you wear a mask, and that's why that's the deal. Remember this lockdown was going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks
Yep.
to flatten the curve.
2 weeks seems like 5 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
God damn it, man. It's I don't know. I think the problem is like where we live. Like I'm assuming you too, Jake. Like we're all fairly rural people, and so like that the bad thing is like nothing much has really changed for us. And then you just like you turn on your TV or you flip through social media, and like everywhere else is just like burning to the fucking ground, and we're like, well, it's really a pretty nice day over here in God's country.
Yep.
And like what are you guys doing? And it's a good year to stay the fuck out of anywhere over like, I don't know, 80,000 people, and just just have some good quality time with your family or something, because fuck going anywhere. Like like I know that like I was talking to some of my buddies from college, and I was like, man, all these city folks, they need sports to come back in a bad way. Like to be able to go to sports events and just provide some sort of a distraction, because goddamn, it's getting insane. And like I'm not like I'm more than just a little bit worried about how shit turns out, because like I'm not worried about where I live. But like I don't know what's gonna happen in these bigger cities that's gonna trickle down to us, because it's always something that happens in the cities, and then some law gets passed infringing on your rights because of some dumb fuck in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and now they want everybody in bumfuck Lyon County, Nevada to disarm and all that horse shit. And like I said, and as far as me, my day-to-day routine has changed very, very little since this whole thing went down. But at the same time, they said 2 weeks and this would be gone. We got to flatten the curve. They never said anything initially about eradicating the virus. They said flatten the curve, and all the real doctors said, hey, if you flatten the curve, you're just going to extend the problem. We don't have a virus, so you have to reach herd immunity, and the quickest way to do that is to have as many people as you can get it and recover, which seems like has happened long ago. But Orange Man bad, so lock everything down.
What's crazy is like the test in general. I mean, like for instance, in Arkansas, we obviously are not in the top anything for money wise, but next to like Louisiana and Mississippi, they are the fucking terrible financial shape. And we kept trying to figure out like why Arkansas at the time has such low counts? Well, it's pretty fucking simple because we don't have that many fucking tests. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now we're had a 40% spike. Well, yeah, because we got fucking tests. But it doesn't matter because it starts from the big cities and works its way back down to us.
Yeah, but never mind these largely peaceful protests. Largely peaceful.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here with all that. It's a
Yeah.
riot. Is a riot all fucking day long. And and yeah, they're going on 90 days straight in Portland and Seattle, and I don't know how long in Chicago, but it's a fucking train wreck out there,
They
guys.
just need to put a wall around Portland and send in Snake Plissken to get everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
I think
of
you're on.
peaceful, how are those fires going there, Matt?
I haven't even looked at. I mean, they're a ways off, so I haven't paid attention to how much they're getting contained, but it's still hazy, not as bad. And the ash hasn't been real thick. Like it hasn't affected like your breathing air quality. I mean, it's affected visibility for sure, but makes for some damn cool sunsets. But yeah, California. I love how. Well, first off, I love that Donald Trump made himself the keynote speaker of the RNC all 4 nights. That's a fucking power move. Like that's a narcissist move if I've ever seen one. But I also love how they're just shitting on California at every chance they get, and couldn't happen to a better state. I think probably the bulk of my audience comes from California, and there's some really really good people in California.
They're self-hating Californians, though.
Exactly. They're kind of like the self-loathing Jews. But yeah, there's I would say the majority of the landmass of California, all those people are pretty well just good, God-fearing, just want to be left alone type folks, and then you have the cities where everybody lives, and it's kind of this. I mean, it's the same story everywhere, but California is just a grand example of all this progressive bullshit played out. I mean, it's you've got almost as many homeless people in the state of California as you have the entire state of Wyoming, and you've got like the 9th largest economy on earth, like in fucking shambles.
For now,
It's
everybody's moving to
yeah.
Texas.
I know Texas is fucked.
Yeah, they're going to
like,
be the next San Francisco because people are leaving there in droves, and then
Joe Rogan left, and he's been pretty vocal about it, and
yeah,
Joe Rogan's pretty left wing.
Besides
and
these
the
influencers, like companies are getting paid to move jobs to Texas by the government.
Yep.
The municipal governments in Texas. When I worked at Oracle a while back. Big, Larry Ellison, that company. I worked there a while back, and the place I worked at lost 350 jobs because the city of Houston essentially has this discretionary fund. It's like $1 million. It's about $1 million, and they can give it to a company to just relocate jobs. So they said, "Hey, Oracle, we'll give you $1 million if you locate 350 jobs to Texas." 350 people lost their jobs. 300 people got jobs. 350 people got jobs in Texas, and Oracle got $1 million. And it was cheaper to hire in there too.
Yeah, and it was actually probably a better paying job in the long run in Texas than it was in California. It was for less money. It went further.
Well, these were actually
have y'all been to Austin?
No, I've never been.
All right, so their fucking motto is "Keep it weird."
Yeah, keep Austin weird. That's been that motto forever.
Sounds like
It has gotten it's gotten so much worse. I mean, it is literally I'll try to be nice. Everybody who is as fucked up as a football bat that comes out of California moves to Austin, Texas.
Sounds like a soup sandwich.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening. The Drinking Bros just moved their headquarters to Austin. That's where Rogan's going, and yeah, you've got like Texas is. I don't know. They got a lot of people moving there, and that's going to be a swing state pretty quick. But I also think California is going to be a swing state here fairly quick too. There's a lot of people leaving, and it ain't the conservative folks. That's the sad part. Like all you like the Lorenzinis and all the California listeners. Like if you want to move to Nevada, we'll take you with open arms. But those guys are going to stay because California's home, and they've been there for generation after generation. It's going to be the progressive liberal fucks that move over here and turn us into California. And so I don't know, give it 20 years, and after all the all the conservative folks, make California like a Wyoming. After everybody leaves, then I might move over there. But until then, oof, that place is just a dumpster fire.
Stay the hell out of Idaho. All you Californians, stay the hell out of Idaho.
Stay the fuck out of Montana, for Christ's sake.
Montana's a lost cause.
Yeah, Montana, Colorado, Nevada, they're all just dumb.
Go to Alberta, goddammit.
I think it's too difficult to immigrate to Canada.
Yeah, it is nowadays.
It is pretty tough. Yeah, so Ty was saying that he didn't think anywhere is locked down as bad as here in New Mexico. It's a joke. We've been having underground junior rodeos and ranch rodeos all summer. All these events have been bigger this summer than any other year. Well, fuck yeah. That's civil disobedience at its best. Like that's a good thing. I'm not we started off making fun of some religious zealots. I'm not a huge fan of organized religion. Like I consider myself a Christian in the faith terms, but I'm not a religion guy at all. But there was some church in LA that had like 6,000 people attend after the Supreme Court decision that the state could mandate a cap on how many people you could have at a religious service, and that I think California capped it at like 50 people, or at least that's what it was here in Nevada, and then there was like 6,000 people that showed up at a church service in LA. Like fuck yeah, that's civil disobedience at its best. That's the way it should be. I don't think this kid in Kenosha, I don't think that helps anybody. I know there's a lot of conservative folks that are sharing memes about that, and it is kind of funny about these Antifa fucks kind of getting some comeuppance, but at the end of the day, that's still 2 people dead, Americans, as big a piece of shit they may be.
Only one. One of them was a pedophile.
There was 2 of them.
Well, one
okay.
was
All right, so he's not considered a people. So yeah, all right. So one American died and 1 pedophile. But either way, like that's not good. Like it's cool to see the kid standing up for some people, but either way, that's just not a good situation. But I think like these junior ranch rodeos and stuff like Ty was saying down in New Mexico, that's excellent. 6,000 people at a church service, that's excellent. And like taking your business to somewhere that doesn't require a mask, I'm all for it. It's just, man, it's a weird fucking time where it's weird, spooky kind of.
Well, anybody think 2021 is going to be better?
No, I think when Trump wins in a landslide, because I think he will. Like I'm back on that train of thought. Like they're like shit's just got like the Democrats have just gone so fucking bonkers, and Joe Biden like they're Pelosi's already calling for no debates. Like they're just trying to keep that guy in his fucking bunker. And yeah, Trump's gonna win in a fucking landslide, and we're just gonna have 4 more years of just fever pitch hysteria from the Democrats and the media. And
the tone they've set is that basically no matter what happens, there gets to be a riot.
mm-hmm.
Matter what.
Unless you're protesting for your own civil liberties
Or your religion or anything, yeah.
Yeah. But, anything done in the name of Black Lives Matter is justified. And the only thing they're doing there is you're taking regular, ordinary white folks who have not thought about race in probably their entire lives, and you're making them a tad bit racist, because you're like, eventually there's going to be like, fuck you. I have not done anything. Fuck you. And that was the whole Trump vote in 2016 was fuck you. Why do you like Donald Trump? Because fuck you. That's why.
Yep.
And who's trying to join here?
That's me.
You're-
My computer's all fucked up. Just keep going.
Oh, okay. No, I was just curious, but yeah, I think it's gonna be an even bigger fuck you vote this year, and sadly, I don't think things are gonna improve anytime soon. But I don't know. I think the more shows of civil disobedience. Well, fuck, how many people do they have at Sturgis? Like 100,000?
I thought it was 250.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Did Kristi Noem speak at the RNC?
I don't know.
Because if they didn't have her there, if they didn't have her, they're doing like they're shooting themselves in the foot. Kristi Noem's been a fucking rock star.
Yeah, she really.
She came. Go ahead.
I watched
Sam.
Ivanka speak on mute.
Oh, that's a good call. Did you just put wet ass pussy over it as she was speaking?
The P word.
I'll tell you one thing.
The Ben
poured a
Shapiro
dram.
version.
I poured a dram and I sat there and I just kind of.
There's some whores in this house.
In the White House.
But now, if they didn't have Kristi Noem speak at the RNC, they're shooting themselves in the foot. That chick has been a rock star, and she caught a ton of heat back in like March and April.
Yeah.
And now she's come and she's stuck to her guns. Like she came under a lot of heat, but she didn't shut anything down. And South Dakota's coming out looking pretty damn good compared to everybody else. And like that chick's gonna have a pretty prominent, national spotlight here, in the next couple of years. I'd say.
She's the governor of
But
South
I don't
Dakota,
know.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about her because this is a total pendulum swing for her. Because what was it? Right before COVID, I think it was, I don't know, maybe November, when they had that meth campaign in South Dakota that she.
Oh,
greenlighted.
right.
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
And not
That was her, huh?
that was her. And the fucking we're on meth. We're on meth. We're on it.
Meth.
I mean, we're on it. And she had like farmers being like, meth, we're on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
You can't.
That was one of the first first blog post I did on the website was just a meme collage of meth were on it.
It was so funny. And then, like, what was it? A few years before that, they had this big old campaign about not breaking too hard when you're sliding on ice. And you know what the campaign was? Don't jerk and drive.
That's right. Don't jerk and drive. Yeah.
South Dakota has had some shitty PR in the past, like, 10 years. Some just awful PR that they've paid millions for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
obviously, they're all on meth. So what do
Here
you
was
expect?
Here was the best part about the meth campaign. The thing launches, right? And I was on her Twitter every day because she was active on it. And she leaned into that shit. She was like leaning into the whole meth campaign. The country and the state of South Dakota were just livid about it. And she's leaning into it. She's like, well, everybody's talking about it, so it's obviously doing its job.
It's effective.
What a joke.
But then like when shit really hit the fan and like push came to shove, like she's been a rock star through this whole deal where she's like, no, it doesn't make any sense to shut shit down. And now like she's gonna be a pretty prominent figure in the Republican Party for a while, I think.
She won't be a presidential candidate.
Just don't
I'll tell you that.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
That meth campaign.
And don't put her in. I would say don't put her in charge of any sort of marketing campaign.
I would.
Or any sort of outrage campaign. You keep her straight on policy, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, when she did the meth campaign, she won all of Arkansas and Louisiana. So, go ahead.
Well, most of Wyoming, eastern Colorado, the whole state of Kansas.
Most of Kansas,
most of
My
New
teeth are
Mexico.
fucked up, but it's not. That's from
Oh, yeah, it's does it not feel like we're just living in a like completely separate world from the rest of the country? Like, I don't know, for me, like really nothing has changed. Like, it's been mildly inconvenient to go out to eat and shit, but like,
yeah.
And you look at the news and you're just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is happening? It's weird.
So do y'all have like, even in like the small towns, do you have like the couple of those people who just try to be the big town people and put those rules and shit in effect, and everybody just looks at them like they're a dumb fuck?
I was on a city council meeting, like a Zoom meeting towards the, I don't know, it was like May, like into May, I think. And there was really one guy that was like, hey, we have got to open up. And he was like pushing, like sending a letter to the governor and saying like, no, your rules do not apply to us. They make no sense. And there was a lady on there that had a salon, a hair salon in town, hadn't worked in 3 weeks, and she's like, I can make it another week maybe, but beyond that, like I'm shut down for good. Like I can't make rent. I can't make and then there was like 2 or 3 city council people that are just like, well, that's a sad story, but you know, we've had like 3 cases in the county, and you know, it's just it's been a real rough go for everybody. And she's like, bitch, I haven't received any money in a fucking month. You're collecting a paycheck, and I mean it just. And granted, I'm also radical libertarian, so I view things from a different view. But like, it just seems so tone deaf on that lady's part, and radical. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm delayed.
There's Karens everywhere, and I don't know. Heath said everything's on fire. I'm left standing there with my marshmallows ready to party. Let's party, Heath. Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
My mother-in-law is the secretary at the health department in town, and apparently they get a bunch of old ladies calling all the time, complaining nobody's wearing masks. We all need to have masks on. We're all gonna die, and the world is ending. They're like, well, I mean, it's not really gonna help you all that much anyway, so get over it. But there's been a bunch of cases around us, but I think we've had like 2 cases in town, and they all get shipped off to Garden City. So as soon as they find out that they have COVID, they like kick them out of town, pretty much send them down to Garden. So yeah.
Do you guys ever read that? Yeah. Did you ever read that short story called The Lottery?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So there was we read it back in like 7th or 8th grade. One of the best teachers I ever had was my like junior high and high school English teacher, Mr. Summers. And he made us read this. It was a short story, and basically the premise of it is there's a lottery drawn once a year, and it was basically a sacrifice to the gods or whatever to have a good crop or something along those lines, and it was just and it was like it was a telling of that day of the lottery. And it ended up being some like little kid that they just stoned to death as a sacrifice to whatever, to have a good crop or whatever. And it almost feels like what it is with, like, if you get tested positive for COVID, which how many like high profile people, aside from like Joe Diffie, rest in peace, but like Rand Paul, Tom Hanks, Kevin Durant, Von Miller, like these really high-profile people have all had the coronavirus and recovered. They're all fine. Louis Gohmert, that was another one. Like he got ripped to shreds. He's a congressman from Texas because he refused to wear a mask. And then he got diagnosed as positive for corona, but there's been no reporting on it after that. Like the next day, all the media was like, "Ha ha! Look at that! He got the COVID." But you haven't heard anything about how he's hospitalized or he's dead. No, he tested positive, and well, so what? Like, is he sick? Well, no, but he didn't wear a mask. Well, is he sick?
Yeah. Is he going to die?
No, no, he's positive, but like he's not sick. Rand Paul is recovered. Tom Hanks, as far as I know, is recovered and allegedly not a pedophile. That one is weird to me. I don't know about that one, but yeah, it is. Like it just it used to be that like it was deaths that they were talking about, and now it's just like there's a spike in cases, and then like if you look at the death rate, like it continues to just go down, even with all these exaggerated numbers, and I just don't know how people keep falling for it, and I really don't think it's like just ignorance. I think it's just people don't want the hassle, so they just put on a damn mask, but. Like we're homeschooling my little girl because like she's 5 years old. She doesn't need to wear a fucking mask for 8 hours a day. She is a high energy like that. She might be the first female president. I'm not saying this as out of bias. Like that little girl will probably conquer the world one day because like you cannot slow her down. You cannot have her wear a mask for 8 hours a day. And so I was like, well. Yeah, I'd want her to go to kindergarten and have fun at school, but fuck no, we're not making her wear a mask for 8 hours a day. Fuck that. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of people starting to figure that out, but there's a whole lot more that just like they don't want the hassle, so they just go along, and I don't get that.
They
I
conform
don't
to
know.
it.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, we got. I'm not gonna say harassed, but we got a grandma type lady talked to us. It's been a couple of weeks ago. We were on shift and we went to Walmart because it's in our district to go get groceries and shit for the day. And I had my I don't know what the fuck they want. We have to wear it at work. It's like a salt armor mask or whatever, just to bullshit, just to say you have it on. I pulled it down
Mm-hmm.
to talk on the phone, and this old ass hag gonna come up to us and says, "It only works if there's two masks." And she points at me and points back at her. And this dude, and it couldn't have been a better timing, come around the corner and looked at her and said, "Well, bitch, if you had two masks on, it would work." And he just walked on the next aisle. Couldn't, I mean, just amazing.
Yeah. Well, and like it's seriously got so just ludicrous at this point. Like if you go to a restaurant, like well you have to wear a mask until you get to your table,
Yep.
and then like when the waiter comes around, you know you got to put your mask back on. And if you got to go pee, you've got to wear your mask to the bathroom, but when you get back to your table, it's okay. Or if you go protest about not being able to go to work, you are definitely causing the spread of coronavirus. But hey, if you're protesting for social justice, you know, Corona knows what's in your heart, and that's okay.
Right.
Jesus Christ! I mean, what the fuck? Like there
So-
was a county in Oregon that said, if you are a person of color and you don't feel comfortable wearing a mask, you are exempt because of racism. But everybody else, you better wear your fucking mask, goddammit.
My mother-in-law was in Costco, and this is kind of where I got the inspiration for my little mask Karen story. But she put her mask on to get in, and then she put it on her chin. You know, she didn't want to breathe, didn't want the sweaty face, and some big fat guy walks up to her and goes, "Hey, it's not a chin guard, it's a mask." And she goes, "I know." And he goes, "Oh, so you just don't care?" The line, right? Like you just don't care about infecting everybody. And she goes, "You know, I can't breathe." He goes, "Well, I can't either, but I wear it." And she goes, "Well, maybe if you weren't so goddamn fat, you could breathe."
Yeah,
Shit,
it's
same time. That's my mother-in-law. She's a badass.
that's awesome. No, it's it just like honestly, I don't know how people don't see through that already, or
Like you don't have to
I
worry
don't know
about
that.
that. You just got to worry about Karen.
Yeah,
Yep.
She's
yeah,
the
it's
same
and it,
with the
and it
drive
goes
like
the same.
in her yard.
Yeah, but it goes the same on the other side of the situation. Like if a business wants you to wear a mask, okay, either wear a mask or go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But don't make a goddamn scene out of it, because then you look like an asshole, because you know what? You are an asshole.
Yeah.
Like it's a simple solution. Go somewhere else or put on a mask. Like,
Yep.
you know, and if you go somewhere else, you are directly hurting that business, and maybe they'll learn when enough people just go somewhere else. And that's the big thing, is like I don't care what your political ideology is, for the most part, outside of like these Antifa people. You are politically extreme until it starts to affect your pocketbook, and then you're like, I'll see things your way.
Yep.
And I mean that's really all it takes. It's a market solution, but there's plenty of people just willing to go along, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I want to read you. I want to read y'all this letter real quick. So there's a barbecue place that's a few miles down the road, and know the guy personally, good dude. And the sign states the Arkansas Health Department made me post this, and it has a little the font changes up and it says mask required and don't lick the doorknobs. At the very end, on a big sheet of paper, you are Americans, and Naaman's, which is the name of the place, hates communism. ... And nobody gives a shit. That's kind of the mentality that this whole area has right now.
Yeah, that's pretty well how we are here too.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even know there's a pandemic going on if you were to walk the streets of Coeur d'Alene.
Right.
Nobody's wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people wearing. I see half the people are doing like the ear thing, where they just wear them right here.
Yep.
They're like, I care, but not that much.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly is they don't want the hassle. Like they don't want to become the Karen. Well, you can still do the civil disobedience and not be a fucking Karen.
Ready to stop disease at a moment's notice.
Yeah. I used to at the grocery store. They're like, "You got a mask?" And no, I don't. And I just walk by, and now like, now they have like, "Would you like a mask?" Yeah, sure, I'll take one. I'll just put it in my back pocket and just keep on cruising. And now I've got one. If like I really need to go into somewhere, I can put one on real quick just to whatever, just get my shit done. But like, I don't know. It's a good damn time to just mind your own business. Just do what you need to do and go the fuck home.
I don't know.
Fuck.
I think with everybody having to wear a mask, it's a good time to go to the bank and pull out a hefty withdrawal
from somebody else's account.
Yeah, I swear. First time somebody robs a bank with one of those masks on, all of this is going to be over with.
Yeah, or if Joe Biden gets elected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
or if Joe Biden gets elected.
Gosh, can you imagine?
Oh.
Can you imagine the State of the Union?
Yeah.
My fellow Americans.
You know the thing.
It's been good.
Listen here, Jack. Fucking guy.
We could probably get Joe Biden on the
even
podcast at this point.
that would be like a Jamie Joe situation.
He just wouldn't stop calling.
Yeah. It'd be like the Al Gore South Park deal. We're like, hey guys, I'm really serious about this man bear pig. Nobody takes me cereal.
God, Joe, how'd you get the link? We changed it. God. Pops in, hey guys.
Oh, fucking Joe Biden. I don't know. Like, do you think they just knew that there's no way they're gonna beat Trump after after the impeachment deal failed, and so they're just like, well, we'll just throw Joe to the wolves and save the real talent for later, or what? But like, I don't know who their real talent is though.
And they're so fragmented right now that they can't get behind one person.
No, and the people they do put up are like not impressive at all.
Like Tulsi Gabbard would have had a good run against Trump.
I think Tulsi, and she was. Don't get me wrong. I've been pretty big on Tulsi, but don't get me wrong. She's god awful on the Second Amendment. She's god awful on economics.
Oh yeah.
But she's spot on foreign policy.
And I think she would have played better than Joe. But I'm not saying I support her, but I think she would have played better.
I would have considered voting for her. I probably wouldn't have, but I would have considered it. But I've never considered voting for Joe Biden. Like I've considered voting for Donald Trump, and I may just as a fuck you, because mostly because Joe Jorgensen's kind of whatever. I don't know, not good. She's just not that good.
She's not viable, but I like her idea.
I like her to an extent, but she's playing way too hard into this Black Lives Matter deal. And like at some point, like yeah, we can all say that yeah, we care about black people getting shot by cops, but I also don't want to see any of these fucking cities burned down for 90 days straight. At what point do the Black Lives Matter movement and the organization become the same thing? Because I don't see anybody from the movement denouncing the organization. It's all one and the same. And it's so, yeah, I'm not getting behind any of that. Like, I could get behind the original ideal behind Black Lives Matter, but the way it is now, fuck, I can't support any of that shit. So, yeah, I don't know.
I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere today that the Clinton Foundation was like top 3 donors for BLM.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
We can
You know
look
that the Clinton Foundation lost about half of their donations as soon as Donald Trump got named president too. So,
Yep.
very, very coincidentally.
You know who the top
They
3
stopped
donors
making-
to Black Lives Matter are?
Let's hear it.
Walmart, Target, and Home Depot.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh,
Fucking
that's
Home Depot?
down small businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, there you go. Shop local.
A lot of sense now.
Walmart, Target, Home. Let's see. So the major brands. So Walmart. Let's see. So tech companies. Google committed 12 million. Facebook and Amazon are each doing 10 million. Apple's pledging 100 million. Walmart's doing 100 million. Target's doing 10 million. Home Depot did 1 million. EA did 1 million. You know, these gaming companies, Etsy. It goes down from there. So that's who is paying people to protest right now.
Yeah. Forget George Soros. It's the big corporations.
And I've always said these freaking companies, these big corporations, have one foot in each camp, and they diversify their investments.
I wonder if Sam Walton would approve of this.
No, guaranteed he wouldn't.
Do you really wonder that, Nick? Or
No, I like rhetorical questions.
So that's what we were trying to figure out the other day. It's not like a big major city that's all this bullshit. I mean, other than like Portland and wherever else, but like these random ass, you know, like where the kid got shot last night or wherever it was. And I'm thinking around in this area, as in like Arkansas, Mississippi Delta, we have a lot of black people, like a lot. And I just can't see, like, even them people are like, this is pretty fucking stupid. So I don't understand where, like, how all these people are, like, all of a sudden on vacation, or what's going on, like, where do they all get shifted from?
well, they're on unemployment, and then they get offered to get money for.
Well,
what?
I think a lot of these rioters, and you know, like the early like analysis from like conservative outlets, and it's still the analysis from conservative outlets that it's all Antifa. I think Antifa has a large share of the instigation from it. But when you look at the arrest records from all these riots and shit, the vast majority of them are local. and they're just
Right.
probably out of work, bored, and poor. So they go loot because it's a prime opportunity to do so. Cops are standing down under orders from these mayors and governors, and they're gonna get off scot-free. That's, I mean, you can't argue with them because that's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's a crime
there's
of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The incentive is there.
anytime you have something this large and this, that seems like it's grassroots. I hate that term because nothing is.
Yeah, it ain't
But
grassroots.
anytime you have something this large, you can guarantee that there are multiple parties profiting off of it, and everyone's just not focused on that.
No.
Like, look, remember
remember
the ice bucket challenge? Remember that shit?
The ALS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 3% of the money raised for that went to ALS research.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's just another ice bucket challenge, only it's angrier and more colorful.
Yeah, and it's gonna end worse. It's gonna end worse. That's the problem. Like, you saw it in Kenosha. Like, that shit doesn't end well. Like, the whole idea of armed revolution. Like, and I'm talking to the left wingers and the Boogaloo boys at the same time. Like, that's what that shit looks like. Kenosha, people getting shot through the heart, shot in the fucking head, have their bicep blown off. And that's what it looks like.
And these people are going out there riding and being told, like, hey, if you get arrested, we'll bail you out. No worries.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got Hollywood paying the bail bill.
Freaking
like all these fucking celebrities.
Walmart's paying it. Target, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, they're paying for bail for people who are riding right now, because it goes into a not-for-profit fund that is used at the discretion of the board of directors.
And then it's funded right in through bail money into Democrat cities.
Yep.
So Portland is getting a ton of influx of money right now. Hey, that guy spit on the sidewalk. Said his, or like that kid, he, pushed a cop. Set his bail at $500,000.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually happening.
Yeah. But Sam, when you sent me that screenshot the other day of that hard drive that you bought.
Oh yeah.
And because I bought the same one, and it was give or take about $375.
Yep.
Pretty badass, really. 8 terabyte hard drive. Yeah. This is total nerd talk right here. But either way, ordered it off Amazon, and it was about $375. I've looked it up elsewhere. Could not find one for less than $450.
Oh yeah.
And that's how Amazon has you by the shorts. But they're also paying and yeah, it's the same thing. Like Levi's 501s, I think, are the perfect pair of jeans ever made. I cannot buy them anymore because Levi's donates money to anti-gun groups. Like, and not just a little bit of money, but a large amount of money, like hundreds of millions a year. And they also pay their employees overtime to go volunteer at anti-Second Amendment rallies and policy making deals and whatnot. Like, they are actively working to take your guns away. I don't care how comfortable the 501 Levi's are. I will not buy another pair of them.
Wrangler does,
which sucks because I love Wrangler as a company. I'm not a big fan of their jeans. They just don't fit me the right way. It's nothing against them. It just, like, that's how they made them. That's how they measured them, and they don't fit me. I've gotten
right.
Yeah, I hate the sparkly jeans so much.
They'll stretch. Wrangler makes jackets.
Like I don't care if anybody's gay. Just don't be a fag about it. Don't have a bunch of sparkly shit on your jeans.
Looking at you, Coetzel.
Yes.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I got no dog in the Coetzel fight. I think I've never been a huge fan of his music. I thought it was okay at best.
Like
But I
two,
don't have it.
two songs. Yeah, that's about
I
it.
just don't have a dog in that. I don't dislike him. I didn't. I was. He's kind of on the same level as Pendleton. I think he's all right. I think he's a little overrated, but I don't hate him.
I
I
think
mean, if he's on, I'll listen.
I think all his influences are Red Dirt, and like he loves all the Red Dirt. But the same kind of fucking music he's making is the same garbage that Chase Rice is spewing on a bigger stage.
Oh, you just compare Coe and fucking Chase Rice?
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh,
Come at me, bro.
That damn
Man, I
straight
don't know.
dirt.
No, I'll agree with that.
Right,
See, that's the thing. I've listened to this kid since he was playing in this little shit ass bar in Mount Pleasant, Texas. And with his first album, if I don't know if y'all have ever even seen it, it was Coetzel and the Convicts. Great shit.
Yeah.
And then he started saying fuck all the time, and I was like, well, this is great to drink to. It might as well be great to party to. And then it went downhill. Now, I will say this. He's by far one of the better entertainers when it comes to a complete show.
No,
But
okay.
that he is definitely not your contemporary. I say contemporary. He is not your original Red Dirt by far by no
Oh
means.
no,
He's
no,
not.
no, he's
Why
not.
not?
He's not. Well, like I say, I just don't have a dog in that fight. I got plenty of requests when I first started doing the song requests for here. I got
Right.
plenty of requests for Coetzel, and they're all right. I like some of his songs. I kind of put him along the same lines of like Blue Edmondson. Blue Edmondson had $50 in a Flask of Crown, which was a
Yep.
banger, and then he
Yep.
didn't have much after that. I'd go back to
Did he
him
have Finger on the Trigger?
he covered it. That was actually Brandon
Okay, that's
Jenkins
what-
that wrote it.
That's who it was. That's who it was.
Yeah, and I think Blue Edmondson did a good cover of it. But like he was one where like I kept going back to like all right, so are you gonna get back to like the $50 in a Flask of Crown level? And he just never really did.
Yeah.
And I kind of view Coetzel the same way. Like he's good. I can see where like he fits into the scene. He's not not one of my main guys. Like I don't know. I got a soft spot for the Okies too. Yeah, I was a big Aaron Watson guy early on, and then he just got more and
Yep.
more and more Nashville, and yeah.
Well,
So
he
is
put
it-
his name on refusing the man, refusing the record labels, and you can only do that for so long.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Is it just me or like Aaron Watson's last, I don't know, fucking 3 albums? They all sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
and
Like
they're-
it's just repetitive,
sorry.
the same shit.
Well, they have one solid good song on there, and then the rest of it's just whatever.
And-
It's
and I'm
it's
sorry.
okay for
he's more
country
famous
radio, I
and
guess.
more whatever than I'll ever be, but his songs are fucking simple,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're really simple.
and I don't have any respect.
But they were simple, but they were heartfelt, and now they're just
Yep.
not either. They're simple, but
It
like
just
there's
seemed
not
like he
even
was
the
writing- one of the things I do for work every day is I optimize people's websites, right? And to do that, you take keywords that people search for. And it seems like all he's doing is putting keywords that country folk search for and putting them in his fucking songs. Like horse and cowboy hat. And it just fucking seems simple. It's like maybe it's more evident to me. Maybe everybody else gets it too, but his music is just fucking simple.
So Sam, are you a Kojo fan?
Who?
A Kojo fan, Cody Johnson.
I like his stuff. Yeah, I'm all right with him. Yeah.
Man, like that dude. I remember when his first came out with the Black and White album. it was like you could tell it was like that. Hey, I'm just trying to get started. Good shit. And then like 3 or 4 shows I went to, like the third or fourth one, you kept noticing like there's more smoke, more lights,
Yeah.
more Nashville. And when he fucking went from American Hat Company, I was like, America, all right. And then he got a fucking deal with Resist All or whoever it was. Like, dude, you just went away from exactly where you started from. And yeah,
Eli Young's well, even before Eli Young, Pat Green Pat Green and Jack Ingram are the prime examples. Of like Pat Green was the godfather of Texas country. Like nobody gave a shit about Robert Earl Keen. They knew Corey Morrow and Pat Green, and then Pat Green did Wave on Wave, and then from there it just went downhill to shit. And that's when people went back to Robert Earl Keen, Stoney, like all the
Ray Wiley Hubbard,
like Ray Wiley Hubbard, Bolin, Cody Canada, and I think Cody Canada is one of the more prolific songwriters out there. I've never been a fan of his live shows. I thought he was a kind of a prick as a live show. Guy's talented, don't get me wrong. Like when he's on, but like he'll get pissed off about, like somebody requested Carney Man because it's one of the classic Ragweed songs, and he got all sorts of butthurt about it because it's a stupid fucking song and I was a young kid. Well, whatever, people fucking like it, play the song, and then it's not like they're asking you to play somebody else's song. Yeah, it's not like he's asking you to play a Chris Ledoux song. They're asking you to play one of yours.
And what a fucking like stuck up piece of shit he is. So like when you put a song out there, when you record it, you release it, people buy it, it belongs to the people. Honestly. People listen to that shit while they're making out with their girlfriend up at the point, or they're or whatever. I mean, there's a million fucking stories that happen and you're the soundtrack to it. So who are you to deny that person their request and call them stupid for it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, saying like I'll listen to his albums all day, but like I won't go out of my way to go see one of his shows. And
everybody, I don't know, they're just Ragweed, but not really. We don't miss Camp Cody.
So have y'all seen the Cross Young and wherever the fuck they are now? Like they put the other dude in there. Have y'all like seen those guys play?
No, I haven't.
I've heard about it.
Just fucking goober gobblers through the fucking entire show. It's terrible. Fucking terrible.
Yeah. It just sounds like it. I don't know. Like, I remember when Cooter Graw tried to make a comeback and, but they were trying to do something different. And I was like, man, just sing Red Dress. Come on.
Yep.
We just want to hear Red Dress.
But
if you got something new that's along those same lines, we'll listen to that. But come on.
And as much as Nashville is churning out shit lately, I will give them credit for the ones that they're buying and giving creative, construct to. Like first and foremost, we'll see what happens with him. But Tyler Childers, I love him. Jason
Tyler
Isbell,
Childers is so good.
Jason Isbell is probably the best songwriter alive right now, in my opinion. And my man, Mr. Stapleton, I mean, those guys can do no wrong because I can listen to their shit over and over and over. Mm-hmm. Just stare at a wall and listen to their records and feel something. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
and you guys gave me shit. It still gave me shit for calling my best friend predictable. My best friend Cord Blund. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I didn't mean it in a bad way. Like you know what his songs are gonna sound like to a certain extent, like because he's got a style. You're like as soon as the first note rings, you're like, oh yeah, that's Cord Blund, but you have no idea what he's gonna talk about. And that, what it's going to sound like to a certain extent, but, he surprises you.
Yeah.
And unlike where, all these... And name any radio band, they all sound exactly the fucking same. Like it just
Eh,
garbage. And
you got to read between
I
the
don't
lines
know.
a little bit. I mean, because you can. First of all, I don't listen to the radio, but you
No,
got
I haven't listened to the
right,
radio in ever.
right as Turnpike was getting big, Evan's drug addiction or alcoholism got in the way, right? Well, I'm interested
Mhm.
in what would have happened because they were on every radio station
Yep.
right as that happened, and so to this day, I still think they're the Red Dirt Jesus band that we would have needed, like the country music Jesus, like that was them. But
Yeah,
Uh,
well, just wait. I think they're getting back together. I'm holding out hope, and
I've said that since you interviewed Corb.
I know it. Yeah, Corb dropped some Easter eggs there.
Yeah, he's
Because
good friends.
it's well known that Evan and Corb are like, I mean, they're tight.
And Corb
And
said Evan has the best band.
exactly. And we went on to it at length about that. And it was funny is because me and Sam had just talked about that. Like literally the day before about how like not only is Evan Felker like he's the Joe DiMaggio of Red Dirt. Like he wasn't the original, but like he was kind of the resurgence. Like Joe DiMaggio was like the resurgence of Murderers Row Yankees. That's what Evan Felker was, and that's kind of the conversation me and Sam were having. But we also said like not only is he like a once in a generation songwriting and just artistic talent, but he has the band to back him up. Like they are really fucking good.
And I think if we're all having this conversation 20 years from now, just because Burning Daylight will be a multimedia organization by then, but
Oh yeah, we'll
We're
have
gonna
our
look
own
back.
airwaves.
we're going to look back on what's happening in Tulsa as the same way people do now about shit. God,
Austin.
no, fucking Bakersfield.
Oh right, yeah.
I really do.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
think
that in
so.
my heart because there's so much damn good music down there and people give a shit.
Yeah. Well, and Nick, the first time you were on the episode, like you didn't say much until right at the end. You're just like, I got a story, and holy shit, was it a story? Like
That wasn't the one
fucking
about
Okies
the couch,
know how to.
right? The broken couch.
No, that came later. This one was
Okay.
about the poached deer in the back of the Caprice or something like that.
It was Lumina.
Lumina, that's right. It was a Lumina. But like there's something that those Okies have it's got a knack for telling a story. And like yeah, like you guys know me. Like I'm all about the story. Like I don't even care where it ends up. Like just entertain me during the story. And the Okies have a way of doing that. Like I mean, just you look all through it, like Woody Guthrie, Bob Childers, Bolin, Stoney, Evan Felker. I can't even think of the guy's name from the Damn Quails, but the Damn Quails, that's another one where like they had an album. It was out there for like a year and a half, and nobody heard of it. And just all of a sudden, it kind of got picked up, and they're just like, "Oh fuck, who are these guys?" And they went on a whirlwind for like 3 years, and then it's kind of typical band story. Like somebody has to go to rehab, but like
Honestly,
that's all Oklahoma. Like
yeah.
they're I don't know. They're just like they got a knack for telling a story, and yeah, I think Evan Felker's like you said. He's the new king of Red Dirt, and when they come back, that's gonna be a good day. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a damn shame I can't sing. Otherwise, I might be making big bucks one of these days. But I can't sing.
Well, see, this is why
You got some good stories though.
I see, and you don't have to sing. We'll get you into the Cowboy Poetry Gathering, and you'll be the Okie that takes over Elko.
I couldn't stand on a stage in front of people and open my mouth. There ain't no way in hell.
We'll get some bongos. I'll do this. You do slam poetry.
No.
Well, see, you just be this. You be the songwriter and just put some words out on paper, and Sam will run with it.
We'll do a co-write, Nick.
You gotta say "fuck" in the song if you want to sell it in Arkansas, though.
You gotta say "fuck." Oh, perfect.
Well, I tend to curse quite a bit, so I don't think I'll have any issues there.
Well, even if
We'll
you
buy
do, I'll do the intro. Like this song is from fucking Nick Allen Lute, and then just fade right into it.
Nick, you've sent me some lyrics before. Only once, actually, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of time into it. I imagine if I tried harder.
Well, if you're half as good at that as you're fucking Braden Rawhide, then I think you're just being humble.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did not do any ad reads, and Jesse went to bed apparently. But anyhow, I'll add some back into the front of this. But yeah, we got this show has been brought to you by Stetson Ranches up in Fromberg, Montana, Loma Livestock there in Loma, Colorado, and Nick Allen Lute Braided Rawhide Services. If you got any needs for some rawhide, Nick can hook you up. I do appreciate all you guys that have contributed to the show. It's awesome. We're doing a joint sponsorship of Dan Hartman's bronc stomping clinic. I don't know exactly what to call it. They call it a problem horse clinic. Talked to Dan the other day, and he said what they don't realize is it's going to be mostly a riding lesson because with these problem horses, the biggest thing you got to do is fucking ride them. So
Yep.
At some point, as he said, put your dick under the saddle horn and get a hold and just ride them. And it's kind of funny as Nick actually sent me that video of Dan just. You know, that horse wasn't particularly rank at all. Like, he bucked hard, but he wasn't rank. But, Dan Hartman, like, if you look at it from even a halfway experienced eye, that guy was never not in control during that ride. From the moment he stepped up and just kind of leaned on that stirrup, he was in control. And then that horse, like he let that horse have his head until he went to bucking, and the first move he made was right spur, straight to the shoulder, come get some, and then it was just, all right, you really don't want some, and I'm gonna spank your ass.
If
So
you
Nick
Google,
is
if you Google
go ahead.
deep, Matt or Dan Hartman comes up.
Fuck yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, he was sat back and just whap, right spur, just sunk right in that cold shoulder, and he caught a little bit of flack on my site, but like on his original post, he got a lot of flack from a bunch of backyard horse trainers. I don't care what your training style is. If you can't just enjoy a good bronc ride when you see one, then shut the fuck up. I mean, seriously, like, I don't care if that was, excessive use of the quirt or whatever. Like, that was just a masterful bronc ride, and that's what I liked about it. And then I talked to him, and he told me the reasoning behind it, and it made 100% sense. And now he's going to do a clinic, and I was like, I got so much good feedback from that episode. There's no way I wasn't going to try to support it. And so with all that, I've got Nick, I've got Jesse, and myself helping put that on. And like, I think Jesse's going to make it there. Nick, I'm guessing you're probably not. I can't make it. But regardless, that's going to be a cool deal. If you want to learn something, get up to Broadus, Montana on 9/11. That's when it starts. And yeah, if you got some problem horses, I guarantee you Dan's going to whip them right in the fucking dick. And they'll be perfect gentlemen's within a couple days. So it's gonna be a cool deal. It's a horsemanship clinic, but it's gonna be done cowboy style, and I love every part of it.
Yeah, I got another good that day.
Yeah, I told him you might be able to. That's before I talked to you, but
600 miles, man. I'd do it, but I'd have to put something together, you know.
yeah, for sure. Well, I told him he has to do it again next year so I can make it, and I think he's up for it. So next year going to be a big deal.
Shit, have him do it this winter when nobody's doing anything.
Be pretty awesome. I think it's going to take off.
I'm pretty busy in the winter. I have a lot of shitty cabs come in the winter.
Well, you know, I get a lot of calls from Jerry Faldwell. I mean, you know, he sits in the corner most of the time, but he calls a lot.
Hey, Matt, turn your webcam on.
Oh.
Well, you know,
Jerry.
falls well that ends
Jerry
well.
Yeah. Well, Jake, you're a first timer on the show. I guess before we close it out, Sam, where can they find you at?
You can find my music at the McHughes on Facebook or sammchugmusic.com or _ Sam McHugh on Instagram. I'm just all over the place.
Burning Daylight featured music playlist as well.
Burning Daylight as well. Yeah, I'm be releasing some new songs here soon. Have some time to sit down and chart some stuff out, and I think it's some stuff that Daylight Burners in particular will like. So stay tuned, folks.
Fuck yeah. Nick, how about you, buddy?
You can find me on Facebook at Nick Allen Loot, on Instagram at Will Cowboy for Food.
I love that.
Second best Instagram handle ever. Sorry, I can't give you the first one. Conway Shitty is just too good. My boy Jake. Actually, the official boot of Burning Daylight, Jake Houston Boot Company. But yeah, Will Cowboy for Food is the second best Instagram handle out there, and the best rawhide braiding out there. So, second best on the name, first best in the quality. There you go. Jake, how about you?
Just Jake Smith on Facebook. That's pretty much all. We also have Co-Etzel is better than fucking ChaseRice.com. That's pretty much all we're going to do.
Allegedly. And Jake, on that note, sign us off, amigo.
Well, guys, I will tell y'all this. I've had a hell of a time. It's great to be and meet all you fellas. And even if it is 12:40 in the fucking morning here in the middle of the damn nowhere, I appreciate the time. And hopefully we'll do it again soon.